Team Nigma with holding high ground with a Drill Ranger.
There you go. Definitely on point here. And I think to go back to what you're saying too, if you are going to look at the Fighting Pandas as a whole, when it does look like it's working, it looks pretty fantastic, but they have had some avenues of gameplay that have looked less than desirable that have maybe even helped get them to this place.
As a connoisseur of memes, Rich, obviously, coming into the Dota 2 landscape, you've just been absorbing all these fresh memes. Have you heard about the you do not ban X meme?
No, see, I've been spending much more time paying attention to Dark Willow personally.
Understandable. You don't want to miss that oversight, but it's one of those things. It's just like you're playing against X team. You do not ban X because you think you can beat it, right? And it's just this sort of meme of.
I've heard that said, but not in meme format.
Well, this is certainly going to turn into it. If Team Nigma do not manage to beat Fighting Pandas, you're facing Fighting Pandas. Give them Train Protector and Drill Ranger 3 different times. If you lose to it 3 different times, then everyone's just going to be flaming the hell out of Kuro.
Yeah, you lose 3 times to Train Protector. You don't ban it in the 4th game. That's how it goes.
Because you're not that stupid.
Yeah. See, I like that meme a lot. Usually now I would teach you a meme, but last time I tried to teach somebody else a meme, it was at the CQ Major, and his name was also Dominic. And, well, let's just say I haven't seen him in a little while. Definitely seeing him soon, though, but definitely not going to teach him any new words. But let's see what these teams do have in store for us.
Is that a Shadow Fiend ban, or am I just blind? Or
nope, that's a Shadow Fiend ban. You are correct. It's a little dark in the black on black. But yeah, they're what did they ban last time? It was TA.
Yeah.
So this time they.
I probably look really ridiculous right now. There's a Christmas tree blocking my view. Was that Nature's Prophet?
It was.
Yes.
Tree underneath the tree.
Yeah, a little tricky to see that one. What do we think of this? I actually don't think I may have missed it, but I don't think I've seen it yet this tournament.
Mind Control played it yesterday.
Okay, it was probably early.
Yeah. I want to see some gap closers. How do you get on top of Drow? That's my concern.
Yeah, why do you like Buren here? I'm not quite certain. I think the hero is kind of meh. Like he has this really big power spike from Wrath of Nature. It does a lot more damage than it used to in older iterations of Furion. You are typically considered a lane winner. I'm not sure if that's true against Drill Ranger. And also another weird point is that oftentimes like Furion has this versatility. You can run at 3 or you can run at support. Well, they already open with both their supports, so we don't even have that option when it comes to the draft. I think Fighting Pandas, like recognizing all we have to do right now is just focus on our laning phase as much as possible. They pick one of the best laners in the game, and Jakiro, who can actually stand up to the punishment of heroes like Furion and Disruptor really well.
Yeah, he's one of the few heroes that has intelligence heroes that has a lot of strength gain, so he can trade well, and his armor is pretty decent. Also has a lot of mana to work with. You buy a couple of mangoes, spam that first spell. Extremely good against Nature's Prophet, and we're in for a treat. That's going to be probably Miracle's Ember Spirit.
Okay,
that's the gap closer.
You want the gap closer, something that's going to get on top of the Drill Ranger 100%. Still a little susceptible to like the gusts sometimes, and there's going to be the ice path that can be laid out when you slide a fist. You can get caught by that, but again, it's just kind of like I think Nigma want to play a faster game than they've been doing so far. I think they want to take it to Fighting Pandas a little bit more, hit a strong mid-game performance, but Fighting Pandas do have the opportunity to try and counterpick that Ember Spirit. They won't know which lane he's in because they haven't picked their safe laner yet, so could he, be side lane Ember Spirit if it's a bad mid matchup.
Definitely something that's boded well for them so far, though, in this tournament on the side of Nigma, being able to grab Ember.
Plus, it's saying a lot of confidence, right? They left out the TA. They took the Ember Spirit. They're basically daring Bryle. Go ahead.
Go.
Ask for the TA. Ask for what has been considered like a very interesting skill matchup in the 1v1. And, see if you can take Weehaw on, right? You already beat him last game in the 1v1. See if you can do it again.
What else is there? OD still in the pool.
OD, yeah.
Then you're going to have another save. They have some extra tower damage from this Jakiro. I wouldn't mind seeing something like a Dragon Knight. I don't know why. Maybe same thing that you have for, was it Queen of Pain?
Yeah.
Where you want to see this hero, but it's never picked.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen one Dragon Knight yesterday, but it's still not enough.
No, I feel you. So instead, the Fighting Pandas does actually blank, and they're going to decide on picking their Legion commander here. Maybe because they felt like there wasn't a replacement to this offlaner, though well, I guess with the Abaddon, Omni, Doom, all being banned away, then maybe there wasn't a whole lot of options left for your offlane. Legion commander is like, it's not the best catch for Ember Spirit because you still have a small animation to duel, and in that time Ember Spirit can just, you know, Sleight of Fist is instant, jump away to his spirit, that's instant. But it is, you know, it's another save mechanism. Once he does get the duel, they have a lot of damage they can pump into it with the Drow Ranger, with the Macro Pyre from the Jakiro. It is something that can keep the tempo kind of high because of the low cooldown. But
no burst damage. So I don't think they picked Legion Commander to be like the third core in this lineup. It's more of a sustain, because even if it comes to the super late game, Drow can carry it. Plus, they still need to pick one more hero, huh?
I mean, that also leads me, like, they have different options for their mid, right? Because just like last time, Nigma are going to ban away the Huskar, still leaving the OD out there. Legion OD is a common duo. They can save each other. It provides an opportunity to, like, it creates a lot of space for the OD to build up its charges. I don't know how that matchup goes right now from the change to OD.
It's
I'm sure
definitely OD favored.
Yeah, I mean, any matchup against a melee hero just turns into an imprisonment and then deny game. Storm Spirit instead, though.
You liking the Storm Spirit here, Lacoste?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's Bryle's kind of signature hero nowadays, and he plays it well. He understands the hero completely. Also, it's another lockdown for Ember Spirit. You can easily zip to him, especially if you have any kind of vision. Surprise him with that.
5 seconds.
What are we thinking right now, Cap, for Nigma? How are they going to round this out? Is there anything, any glaring misses right now on the checklist?
So they basically set it up by picking the Legion Commander. I think the matchup, I'm not 100% certain, but I think the matchup is still favorable for Legion Commander in the side lane for Ember Spirit. So basically LC will beat that, so maybe they have to go mid, but now he's mid against a Storm Spirit. So Nigma have to decide which lane they want to be able to get the advantage in.
Okay.
Because I think Ember Spirit loses either way.
Yeah, he loses to Legion Commander and Storm Spirit because he just removes his Flame Guard completely.
Yeah. So you pick the lesser of two evils. Pick one thing that can go toe-to-toe with one of those bad boys.
And where's your most, like, there's a lot to be gained, I think, more out of making sure the Storm Spirit has a bad landing phase, but the Storm can always default on jungle. But Storm is also the win condition. I think for this lineup, it's a draw lineup, sure, but I think it's still Storm Spirit who is the end of the game. You don't want AM. I don't think you can afford that option.
All right,
Drow Ranger plus.
We've seen this matchup in game number 1, Drow Ranger against Storm Spirit, so they wanted to give V at least a better lane, so that means that Ember Spirit's going to be on the side lane.
That can kind of gap close on the Drow Ranger, right? By win running through and just ignoring the damage that's being run at him, focus firing on the Drow. You, again, like, this is all hard for Legion Commander to play that matchup as well.
If you look at these 5 heroes from Nigma, they're all so squishy. They don't have a strength hero. They don't have a frontliner.
But at the same time, their lineup, like, if they walk away from the laning phase, okay, and they start building a little momentum, they're going to be hitting you back to back to back to back, right? There's not a whole lot of cooldowns. They have a lot of catch, thanks to the fact that they have these, like, Ember Spirit, long-range catch, high mobility. Wind Ranger, pretty good mobility, good catch as well. Disruptor. So if you do start building up the momentum, Fighting Pandas lineup, which has Drow Ranger, who needs to recover in the jungle most of the time. Storm Spirit, who needs to recover in the jungle. We had a series earlier today where those two clashed, and then a Legion Commander who doesn't create the space for you has been a very ineffectual 3 position at being able to like create opportunities for your 1 and 2 to recover. I could very easily see this game snowballing out of control.
I think Mind Control needs to itemize a bit differently than usual. Like, I think he needs to build the team fighting items here. So because they're so squishy, they don't necessarily need to have that huge amount of magical damage, but he definitely needs to tank his team up, in my opinion.
For me, I think this is a much different. Very different approach. They're going to attack fighting pandas head on very early, and this is not going to be decided really quickly in the first 15.
So you're looking first 15. That's where fighting panda. Them to go heavy.
When you have Ember Spirit, you need someone to deal damage to the towers, and Wind Ranger's not that hero. You want to save focus fire to killing.
Nigma's literally saying we're better than you, and we're going to kill you over and over and over again until you tap out.
All right, well, let's see if that's how this one's going to pan out. This game going to decide it. It's time to jump down to the beautiful, beautiful Toby and Cinderin.
Laugh of Cap in the end. I love it. I hate you, Rich.
Hey, my pants are at least dry, Cap.
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke about that, but let's not do that. Okay, so let's look at game number 3 here. I think the panel pointed out some interesting stuff that mainly will be coming out of Mind Control. I think he's the hero to watch this game. The Nature's Prophet earlier this tournament from him had a weird item build in that game. I think he went Crimson Guard, Vlad's Radiance on a Nature's Prophet. Very unorthodox build. And we might see something somewhat similar in this game, I think.
But it feels like he's in such a horrible position as well, like against Legion, against Storm. Like, how you...
It's not easy.
It seems to be like the arse end of the stick that you just continuously get for Mind Control's like drafted hero.
Yeah, but the good thing about Nature's Prophet is that he's generally able to, even in a bad game, he will find some farm, right? In comparison to other heroes we've seen MC play in this tournament, usually the net worth will be up there so that you can afford, for example, say Crimson Guard or Pipe, whatever you think is more important for your team in this game. But it's a fair point from Lacoste. Like, look at this Radiant lineup. It's 5 squishies, right? There's nobody who's like a real frontliner who can tank. And sometimes you can argue Ember can do it with Flame Guard, but like you get shredded by Drow Legion if you get dueled. So you got to be really careful.
It feels like itemization needs to make up for their inadequacies at the moment, and like in order to do that, you need to have Disruptor doing what we've seen before, like heavy punishment. The Ember Spirit of Miracle needs to start moving. Weeha needs to not get shredded in his mid lane. It will be the Storm versus the Wind Ranger having that mid matchup. No rune shenanigans, no tri-lanes that are happening. In fact, they're already just like single duel for both sides moving through the lanes.
And something about this lane, at least, we've seen some Mind Control GH lanes that came off to a bad start. This is a pretty strong lane in terms of harassment. You've got Treants, you've got the Thunderstrike.
Yes, it's like both ways. Like normally you see, like when you get Blind Stones and Tree and harassment against like these targets, it's nice. But Thunderstrike will have to do the work. Weeha already copying a hell of a lot of damage from Bryle. He does have the salve available. Just lining up the creeps for that perfect attack, but he's doing more damage into Bryle, actually missing out on 2 last hits in order to get that harassment in. While on bottom lane, Snaking already TPing out.
He actually has to. AY went really far away here to block a pull at 1 minute.
Power shots off cooldown, he's not going to go it.
This is a standard Wii. He loves playing really aggressive in the lane, and sometimes he overextends and makes some crucial mistakes, and sometimes it looks good.
There's going to be real value. He's got, he can see the Observer Ward on the hillside, and the Sentry Ward's already planted down, so it's going to be a very, very useful tango.
And some nice extra experience for him, too. I don't know who bought the Sentry or placed it, so I'm not sure who's going to get the bounty for it, but either way, will be very useful for him in that mid lane.
Yeah, he just took it. 106 to Wii.
Yep. And as far as the Pandas go, I think this lineup again, it's right up their alley. They've got the Drow Ranger again. They've got team fight with Jakiro and Treant, and they've got some catch with the Storms. I think they're feeling very comfortable with their picks. They haven't really played against Disruptor though, so I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to deal with that hero when it's something they rate so highly themselves.
And it's definitely a hero that can punish. Man, they're really going at it on top lane. GH and Mygadrill's keeping up. And actually, Courier Snipe, Miracle. Not what he wanted to have happen, but it's a deeper Dire Observer Ward that gave the extra information, so no ferrying of extra items out. GH very low on life on the top lane, but they're focusing over on Envy. As Moon Meander can at least get the rebuttal. It's GH who spills the first blood, and Mind Control backs up. It's been a real rough lane for CS for Bryle.
He's being pressured very hard by Wii, and it's not only the CS, but the number of flasks that Bryle has had to purchase because of the aggression.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, you saw that haste the whole time. Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
It's like he's dragging the creep wave off to the side as well, so he's just able to creep wave at the right position. Not when he goes that far.
Both the main and top lane looking good for Nigma, and then the bottom lane, Snaking is having a great time in the Legion. They got a courier snipe. This is also a lane, to be honest, they're expected to win, right? It's Legion, Jakiro, very, very strong laners, both of them. But Lich is allowing Ember to hold his own.
Try and chase down to Snaking.
He dies here.
Miracle's just continuing the burn as much as he can onto Snaking. Fire and ice coming together.
And this lane for Nigma has been so good this tournament. Every game they've played this Lich Ember, it's looked great for them. And they're playing, like we said, it's into two beefy boys. I guess Jakiro, I don't know, or Legion Commander, definitely not. But anyway,
hey, Jakiro was highest strength gain support. I never ever forget. Top lane really hitting hard for his TP. That's long, and he'll actually, well, GH dies on the top lane.
Treant micro here from Mind Control. Will he get a return? Well, Kuro, yep, we know he's back in the fountain.
Yeah, Mind Control. Now TPing out. He can TP himself to the front lines once again.
I wonder if part of the reason that Nigma rate this hero high, apart from the fact that Mind Control, obviously, it's one of his best heroes, if they rate it high because it has that free,
nice ice path,
that free resource tool to go back to base in a meta where these couriers are flying out non-stop bringing regen. Nature's Prophet can get that free trip himself and get some efficiency. Maybe they rate it highly.
Maybe they also just want to play comfort.
Oh, they definitely are.
Like how much preparation came into this tournament. You want to qualify to get into the major. It's the roughest road to get there. But Nigma being tested at all times. And the Pandas really stepping up. Top lane, wall is up, Eternal Envy's gonna be trapped. Everyone wants to close the distance on this, and all the treants surrounding Eternal Envy with a Thunder Strike. Once again, you'll see these trade-offs continue, but Moon Meander, he'll take the experience as well.
He very fired, and he still just got clopped in one hit. It was so stupid. I mean, you gotta love it and hate it at the same time, right? Treant right now, what an absolute unit.
It's Dota. Accept it and move on. So Weehara is now totally dominated the mid lane. In fact, Storm is already going back into the jungle, not even contesting this catapult wave at all. Bounty runes are also on the field. So Disruptor will take the final one. Miracle copying a lot of range harassment from AUI. Good to see him back on a comfort hero as well. Jakiro.
Yep. His bad performance last game was kind of weird, where I think he messed up some of the earlier parts, but then he had really key plays as well.
Envy trapped inside the Sprout as well as Kinetic Field. It feels like how many times are we going to see this trade-off, and Eternal Envy is always dying beforehand. It's only Moon who's getting the experience. It's not Eternal Envy for these kills. It's Moon.
Brand, I guess.
Well, potentially. Courier doesn't get to deliver items. That had Boots as well as Observer Ward.
No.
That hurts.
Oh no.
Not to mention the economic problems.
Oh, he doesn't need the GPM on Treant. He got 3 kills or whatever. But everything adds up.
And now there's even more pressure still remaining on the top. Because, hey, Disruptor's back. The wall's going once again. And I don't have a lot of armor to work with, both magical and physical damage hitting in hard towards Moon. But, hey, living armor. It's a quality ability.
Just one level makes a very big difference in these kind of brawling lanes, if you will. Constant fighting. Shackle shot.
And power shot, that's level 4. That can be a lot of damage for Bryle. Burns every bit of mana he's got to get some distance.
He's likely going to lose a wave in the tower, though. Completely out of juice.
Actually brought heroes to the top lane, so okay.
This game's looking very good for Nigma because, I mean, this rotation as well, great from Mike. They're going to lose the mid-tower minute 7.
Yep.
That is bad news. We often talk about how important this mid-tower is, and in this meta, I don't think it's any different. Like, losing this map control to a lineup that has the mobility of this Radiant lineup with Ember and Nature's Prophet being able to connect around in the glimpse with vision, that tower, they can't have that happen.
And you're speaking more of, like, lack of vision. Weehara's dewarded 2 Observer Wards just like already, like we're 7.5 minutes into the game, and there's just no extra information around this mid lane, and they're moving towards the top lane, up to the next target, Moon Meander. Well, you're a little bit more beefy, you're gonna pump into GH, but GH also waiting for the right time, glimpse it back over, Ice Path.
Oh, they missed the power shot.
Okay, well it won't matter, he's still shackled to a tree.
Weeha just has so much to give right now. He's 1.2k ahead of Bryle in mid. He took the tower. There's so much freedom because, yeah, you can let Bryle take half the mid tower. You don't really care. Like, as long as there's experience there for somebody else to claim and you make the moves that enable the rest of your teammates, you're doing great. Nature's Prophet should be hitting 6 very soon. Ember is online. There's a lot of tempo to go around right now for the Nigma lineup. And Envy's game, for the first time this tournament, I want to say, is absolutely awful. Like, he's had very great games for the most part. I think he had one game on day one that maybe wasn't too good, but in this game, man, this is a hill to climb. He's died every exchange they've had top, and as much as you say just go jungle, it's not the old Drow with the good marksmanship that one-shots.
And your jungle's not safe. We and GH, they know exactly what you're going to do. Observer ward's planted down. Okay, Envy, if you want to go jungle, we're going to chase with you. AUI, focus fire right on top of him. The wall holds up. Envy trying to create a little bit of extra space. AUI is going to be able to survive as the power shot's off target. GH duels in the back line. Bryle, he wants to go for Weeha. He's a bigger kill to claim. Jakira's the only one to die, and now it's Nigma who are trying to control up the jungle of the Pandas who pay the price.
I like the invasion play, but I think in this day and age, you might need to bring more than 2 heroes for this play. You might have had to have the Ember as part of the rotation or the Lich. At the same time, though, you trade 2 for 1, but it's such a huge commitment from FP to get over there, while both Kuro and Miracle just took free creep waves mid and bottom.
Yeah.
So I think all in all, that's kind of a wash. But obviously, maybe it could have been great for Nigma with an extra hero.
Well, now they go back towards the mid, snaking, don't feel comfortable. The dewarding mission's gonna have to begin, but if they got the finances to fund that.
There's the extra hero, Kuro level 6. They have Nature's Prophet with teleport ready, so they could be 4 heroes at any point right now. No Wrath of Nature, though. Kuro gets the vision.
Yeah, saw Moon for a second. The Courier's chasing him. Shackle is out. Courier, just keep going. Moon, you're dead.
So's the Courier.
I got one more. Yeah, you do. You didn't see this either. Like, there's a dire observer ward in the river, but it doesn't see up the hill. And now we have the 10-minute. At least the outpost in the bottom will go the way of Pandas. Eternal Envy. Yeah, there's a sentry. Glimpse him back. The wall is up. Envy can't get away from this.
Damn.
Nigma.
This is a really big stomping right now. I thought this Radiant lineup would have some tempo and try to play aggressive, but this is a much bigger lead than I would expect Nigma to get based on the Nigma we've seen this tournament so far. They might just keep going. Chain Frost.
It's going to bounce over towards AUI. He stopped for a second and won't go any further. Spirit jumping forward towards AUI with the shields up. Miracle. You know he's going to cop no damage, and there's even more of a wraparound coming from Nigma. Looking for the back lines. Snaking, showing himself with the overwhelming odds. More support ready to go. He's really thinking, like, Miracle is low, and it's Eternal Envy who's there. Exactly the hero they want to try and shut down. Weeha's moving over the line up for the shackle! The two of them together! It couldn't have been any more perfect, but the wall doesn't come up in time. The Sprout will hold Envy in position, so they'll get the man they really came from. Weeha, maybe he'll still get the extra prize. No, snaking is way too fast, but hey, give her a shot. Woo! Shot's good, but not good enough.
Tower is under attack.
Damn, that would have been, if that's kinetic field formed in time, that would have been really beautiful. It's a good kill, and they're getting another tower by the looks of it, unless, well, they're kind of backing off. I think Miracle will stick around until the job's done.
Oh, the TP's coming in.
Yeah, he will.
Snaking, at least looking for a denial, they're waiting for it, and that's Snaking is able to get the denial.
So 50-50 split on that one.
Still a lot of pressure being applied now on bottom.
Yeah.
And this really starts to limit the farming area of Panda. So where do you go? Normally Envy is always able to find a hole where he can farm. But even then, like, even if he does get that farm, is he really going to be the one who makes the difference? It feels like Storm is the one that Pandas have to look to. It has to be Bryle getting a jump.
I think they need to look for a fight. I don't think you can just keep playing and have one guy making moves, because Miracle are not going to stop grouping up now. They're going to keep running at you with 3 or 4 heroes, and you need to be able to respond. Drow's game is bad, and it's not going to get any better, I think, without fighting. I don't think you can, like, look at the map right now. Look at where heroes are placed. Nigma are probably covering about 60 to 70% of the map right now with their heroes, just pushing everything across the river. You need to shove them out with numbers in a move. You've got Treant, you've got Jakiro with ultis, you've got a Storm. It's possible, you gotta look for the fight though.
Hey MC, you want to get that bounty rune at some point as well? It's been sitting up there for like, it doesn't increase in value anymore.
Nope.
Nice observed ward, that's gonna get dewarded. That's a small victory for Panda.
Items dropping, that was Jelly and Brooch.
Yeah, Jelly came before it was Tree. Ironwood Branch.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Wait, it was Jelly Brooch, right?
No, it was Ironwood Branch.
Who got the Ironwood?
It was Storm or Pandas, both were Pandas.
Oh, okay, so Jelly for Nigma, and then, or did they?
Yeah, the Jelly came a while back.
Okay.
It's late, it's
anyway,
fine.
the Brooch.
Hey, we didn't even see the courier sniper the refresher up in the last one, but it all still worked out. So we get Arcane Boots up for one. Kaya for the Storm. Things are all still moving as far as item progression.
Yeah, Brawl's game is decent still.
Yep.
They got to play around him.
Dro can still play catch up. Split shot's fantastic at this. Is it split or multi-shot? Split shot's the deuces.
If this were the old Drow and Drow's lane would have gone like this, the moment you're 6, you go farm Ancients or big camps way more effectively. So I would still say the recovery curve is a lot steeper than it would have been half a year ago. And you can tell he's almost 2k behind Miracle. No death to his name yet. There is the Ironwood tree complete, as well as a drum, and he has the Faded Brooch. This Ember is loaded right now.
Ember's the wrong way around. Maybe it was the Ironwood tree for the...
Well, there definitely is one on Nigma.
Yeah, there definitely is one. Either way. But how does Pandas deal with this? They put 4 heroes all standing on top of each other, farming up their own jungle. 2 are basically running cover. And Nigma, maybe they can try and find this fight. Treant Protect is the man who's on the front lines. Moon Meander building his sacrificial lamb. Snaking trying to break him free. But Moon Meander just cannot get away from all the shield damage that's on Miracle.
And we were talking about Mind Control having a rough tournament and having really hard lanes and games. He's doing great. Probably going to be looking to itemize team items so they can kill Roshan, so they can mitigate damage. Oh, AUI's super dead.
Easy searing chains. Hold him inside the kinetic field. An extra power shot just to help Miracle finish the job. That was obviously funny.
Bounties. Oh, Snaking. Is he getting greedy here?
He's coming a little too close. Support is nearby. Eternal Envy already using the split, but you see what Miracle wants. It's double gust, but you put the wall up. Support's going to arrive for the forward Mind Control. Nature's Prophet is always there, and Eternal Envy appears to always be dead. Snaking trying to keep his run going, but glimpse you back right into the middle of the Sinister Gaze of Kuro. GH looked to finish the job as there was a little bit of extra regeneration, but 2 heroes down now, and the tier 2 tower looks very, very open for Mind Control to force.
He's actually going drums into Orchid for now, so prioritizing the aggressive style rather than the teamfight style. Both work this game. I think when you have this good of a game, you don't have to buy team items. I still like it though. I think it's the way to end the game reliably. But this way they have something to solve Storm, who arguably is the only problem in the game. That nobody else on the Dire is having an even remotely good time.
Do you also feel like Bloodstone is that way to still go for the Storm? Because it doesn't feel like Pandas are going to be able to find kills, but then again, what else does he buy?
It gives him damage, it gives him tankability.
Oh, maybe he's dead again.
It's all right.
Oh, wait, no, he's not. It looked like we wanted to jump up the hill.
Fangs for Snaking. Reckon he might keep them, actually.
Well, there's your mech.
He goes mech. Okay, he changed his mind.
So the team item is there. Tier 2 tower is slowly being repaired by the living armor. Onto the Dire Obs. Power shots, just looking for a scout. Ember comes up, another searing chains. Legion Commander breaking itself free with a press. The attack actually begins the duel, combining with the Blade Mail. Need a little bit more damage in this if they're going to find a duel, but then again, they might just kill off Miracle. Envy battling for the low ground, but it will do its work with a shackle. It's too good. Moon and Briar locked together, so Bra can't do much more, and Sneaking Sinister Gaze back up the hill. He still wants to get the damage out, combining with Envy. He's a great front liner. Snaking actually survives with this, and Bra goes for another jump in. He's getting glimpsed away, but the control being enough to keep Mind Control in position to then ball lightning back through and find the kill. Nigma, oh, if feels like they just gave some room to breathe to a suffocating team.
Miracle thought he couldn't die. He slight chained the Ember, slight chained the Legion, who's obviously going to press the attack that off and keep running. Just turned around and dueled him. He was not ready for that amount of damage. They chained everything really nicely. Ice Path came in after the duel. They had Overgrowth. They had the Storm doing the damage. And even with that freshly picked up mech, they couldn't keep him alive. Maybe you need to approach these fights slightly differently. Teleporting your Furon. Let him get opened on if anybody needs to.
Well, looks like this time will be Moon. He'll try and survive, throwing down whatever he's got. Envy's coming over. Can get some range damage in at least, but that's all. He's got the Grove Bow, which he can get. Oh, they got him! Oh, Envy! He didn't want this! Press the attack, won't break him free. The trees around is absolutely perfect. Ice Path might create a little bit extra space combining with a Macro Pyre, but Envy dies at the tier 2 tower. And Miracle forces the issue right on top of Jackie. And AUI will fall to Weeha's arrow.
Man, it's like Nigma flicked a switch and we're just like, guys, let's just play fast instead. That's more fun, and it's working for the most part. That last move was definitely not good into the enemy jungle, but with that as the exception to the rule, so far their aggression in the game has been working out very, very well for them. This is going to be the 4th tower that they claim. Unless Bryle can somehow defend this, he's not interested. So that's going to go down as well.
No, he just finished up his Bloodstone. He only wants to join fights where they can actually find kills, gain these charges, work with it. Miracle feeling like he's a little bit by himself there. You're so scared if you're Pandas because you don't know where Nigma is. They're already smoking up. They're headed towards the north. We're 18:45 in. You know what time that is? It's outpost time.
It's very early outpost time.
It's fine. Still outpost time.
Yeah, well, they're obliged.
Pandas are coming. You take the fight now so you get the outpost later. And we are... Oh, there's your ball landing forward. Pull him back in again. This will be a huge kill. Take me guys and being FB. It just arrived. Did he get it up in time? Fight of business. It means he damaged, but the protection won't be enough from Kuro with the ball. And now the Chain Frost. Envy. Bryle, he was just far enough away so they won't bounce. The Brownings are ball landing himself back up through mind control. They'll find the kill. Bryle with a double. They hold in Miracle. Is he actually going to die a second time? Almost the same position as last. He keeps jumping and Bryle, a triple kill, clips him away. But Kuro, the TP out. It will be successful. GH, will he be so lucky? No, he will not. 4 heroes down. And now, Hasten, you know what time it is? It's outpost time.
Yeah, now it is. And they're probably going to only get one, though, because they are too far away from being able to connect bottom. If they TP now, the run is too long. So that's at least a silver lining here for Nigma. But again, it's weird to watch, right? Because they've had so many great moments of aggression in this game, and then there's just this stranded Windranger. His team is smoking to the left, starting to take over the area. Was this creep camp really necessary? Like, you're taking a risk. The entire enemy team is missing. They could be smoking toward you. Things could happen. If they're together, if there's literally anybody with him when he gets jumped, anyone at all, I think he could be off and survive.
Kuro was nearby, but he's a little bit too far up. And the BKB, it arrived right up.
MC. That's a very good bounty snipe. Snaking in the right place, but not at the right time. A little bit too late on that one. But yeah, Fighting Pandas, they're back in the game.
Yeah.
They took a risk on that smoke. It could have backfired horribly. If Nigma were in good position, that could have been a team wipe.
And what a time for Bryle to have that fight. We said he didn't want to be in a fight until he could get kills, and he just got 3 charges, I think. Maybe 4.
Yeah, I think he got 4.
Yeah. Now Nigma. Here we go again. Moon Meander. There's the one they start. The wall will come up, and then, oh man, what a nice path. And Envy so far from downtime. Here comes Bryle. There goes one. Get it back in. Miracle's the target. The duel is out. Weeha's the primary one. Locked inside the BKB. Eternal Envy trying to land that extra bit of damage. Weeha focus firing him down, but it's just so many Pandas. Envy will finally go down, but Weeha will be the sacrificial lamb. Miracle once more, but Bryle, is he doing a 1v3 in the back line of this fight? Sure! Everyone else is coming over. You got Living Armor to keep his life up. Kuro will now go down. The Chain Frost's gonna bounce over to the neutral creeps, and that's gonna be all. Won't come back out of anything else.
That's a dieback on Kuro.
And what does Mind Control do? It's like, guys, split push, let's get the hell out of here. But his biggest nemesis, the Storm Spirit's getting fatter and fatter and fatter.
And they lost Weeha again. He did a lot of damage in this fight, but he ultimately does end up dying for the second time. And it's so much... I don't want to put Windranger in the same category as Quap, where it feels so bad when you die because you lose momentum, but it's like halfway there. Deaths on this hero do not feel nearly as good as they do on others. It generally doesn't feel good, okay? But,
deaths in general.
Yeah, but it's not great. And Bryle, once again, like you said, he's getting these charges. like I saw the Static Storm that fight. I don't really know what happened. But you've got, if you want to kill this Storm Spirit, you need Wind Ranger on him. He's too tanky with that Bloodstone. He doesn't die in the Static Storm. They don't have enough damage to kill him without the Focus Fire.
See, the funny thing is we're always talking about the Storm Spirit, but it feels like Storm coming at the end to actually play the Quap kind of style. Like, I clean up a hero and then I can bounce out, then I bounce back in again. It's Legion, it's Treat, it's Jakiro on the front lines, and no one's on Envy. No one's on top of the Drow Ranger. Envy's positioning always has a frontline meat shield to work for him.
The start of that fight was always really crucial.
Kura going to be in there. Kura going to lose life so quickly with the ice path. Mind control with the right, puts the Orca over on Bryle, and now we are trying to fight for the overgrowth. Rumi Ender just holds him in position. Bryle pulls to the storm. The wall is up as well. The Eternal Envy only Yule's up it up. He's ready to fight once again. A Miracle wants to keep fighting. He wants to catch out Bryle. The Spirit's up on the hill, but he'll go back under vision. Now we are dueled up. He's down for 48 seconds too. Roshan is open, no Weehard are defended. You can quick Spirit jump away, Miracle slowed up. The wall creates a little bit of extra space. But now it's going to be what, Tier 1 Tower and Mind Control trying to relieve the pressure, doing Nature's Prophet things, pushing the bottom lane.
They're just spending so much energy trying to kill the Storm and failing. Other heroes are getting way too much space in the fight, and FP know it. Bryle is really playing on the limit here. It's really cool to see when you go this Bloodstone build on Storm how aggressive you can really play into a lineup of this kind. And now with the Ogre Axe as well, look at his health, 2,500. I think it was 2,700 almost when he switches the treads over. So super tanky, 11 base armor as well.
22 charges with BKB arriving soon.
And of course, he can activate his Bloodstone.
Yeah, he hasn't had to so far.
Yep. And man, these Jakiro Treant heroes have done so much work this game. The fight on the choke point earlier around the top shrine for Dire, and now this time around the Roche Pit, Storm jumps in, then they get a really nice ice path. They get the overgrowth too.
It's like such a waste of a BKB of Weehard. It's like, hey, I'm going to focus fire, I'm going to try and do damage, but wait, I don't do as much as I really want to. GH has another level of control as well, so he's got Clumsy Net to work with his normal combination, but they don't feel like they're catching anybody out. And once that BKB is up, like, Bryle's not going to care so much about things. AUI's positioning for Ice Paths, 2-3 men Ice Paths, always getting caught out, and once again, Eternal Envy, what you also from up, there's no one that can jump. As Ember Spirit, but he's too busy trying to chase the Storm Spirit. Like, he committed the Remnant on the high ground for where the Storm was jumping, but he couldn't get it out. It's one of those damn it if you do, damn it if you don't moments where it sucks to go on the Storm, but if you don't, he's gonna just destroy your entire team. But maybe the play is Envy. Just dedicate someone to make Storm's life annoying. Like, just Orchid him and kill someone else. I think every time they go on the Storm, they regret it. The ward's timing out. They don't feel like they've really got this. Mind Control still shoving in the bottom lane. So even if Pandas had any thought about going into Roshan, they're being forced into a trade-off. And you see the pings coming out now. It's like someone's going to go down there to deal with this. Oh, this is a good item for Envy to find. He got spider legs, so he'll be able to always get out of Sprout. He'll be able to maybe escape some awkward situations where he could get shackled. Well, what do you get in return? You get a craggy coat for Nigma. Not a bad item either, by any means. What have you put it on, though? That's the question. You put it on the Disruptor so we can survive a little longer. We could put it on the Wind Ranger, right? She gets so much attack speed anyway from her ult. It is minus attack speed, not minus attack damage, right? I think I'm remembering that correctly, but... Enchanted Quiver for the Ember. Not what he was searching for, but you can give it over to the Wind Ranger. If she's got item slots, of course. Yeah, still the net worth. Like, if you look at it all, like, it's still 3K in favor of Nigma. Storm's the primary one up there. The next 3 behind by a large margin is still Radiant. But do they feel it? Is the question. Is it effective net worth? No, but also in Nigma's minds, do they know? Like, the way the game has progressed in the last 5 to 10 minutes, they might feel like they're trailing right now. They lost a couple of fights in a row, a couple of them pretty badly. Oh, it's easy for us to say, but... They don't have this information available. It's the balance of Dota. Spider legs for both teams, Enchanted Quiver for both teams. Balanced in all things. Absolutely. And the Quiver is currently going on Bryle. Give him a lot of extra damage in the initial jump. Can help a lot with getting the instant burst on someone like Lich or Disruptor. Wind Ranger having MKB before this fight. They have no vision at all. They're coming right next to the Tier 1 tower. I'm seeing items being dropped down for the moment. Dragon Scale, Chain Frost going to bounce out. The Delta Split right now. But AUI as well as Bryle just locked together. Moving in underneath the Tier 1 tower. Does not survive. No overgrowth for them. And man, they're not moving away from the Chain Frost. What? Searing headlights. Never. Now going to jump forward. Another Yule sets her up. Now this time, they're on top of Eternal Envy. They get the shackle broken free thanks to the press the attack. By buyback coming in from the Jakiro. He needs to give an ice path, needs to give someone to get out. Envy's already gone down. Snaking will fall as well. They weren't ready for it.
Dude, I can't believe what I just watched. Brawl was running next to the Jakiro and let the Chain Frost bounce 6 times instead of spending 200 mana to just jump away so it wouldn't chain.
Now Nigma going for Roshan.
AUI literally got 100 to 0'd by Chain Frost. It bounced 4 times between him and the Storm, and then the last time it bounced to somebody else. Like, what was that? Maybe Brawl wasn't looking at his hero. Like, I can't believe that just happened.
What was he looking at instead?
I don't know. He just needed to jump for... He didn't even need to use mana. He could have just walked down 100 range, and the Chain Frost would have stopped. And he was just watching his teammate get killed. Dude, that was bizarre. Oh. That's so costly, too. The Jakiro buys back. The fight becomes a nightmare because they're totally out of position. Jakiro buys back. They lose the Roche. They didn't even place a ward with their aggressive maneuver, which, to begin with, was kind of daring. Attacking this mid tower from this angle, a full HP mid tower without having a pre-placed ward, is very dangerous against the whole team that's missing. And Nigma were ready that time. And all of a sudden, Toby, now it's
swinging back the other way.
How it was supposed to be 5 minutes ago.
This is the full swingers game, though. Like, never think you're totally ahead. You never know what can happen.
This is scrappy.
Definitely.
Time for outpost in a minute and a half.
Yeah, it's an outpost fight, boys. Everyone prioritizes.
Weehaw just got so much stronger with this MKB plus Quiver, and he even has the Spider Legs too. So if you try to escape him with Force Staff by forcing over the high ground while you're focus fired, doesn't matter. He can run out after you straight away with the legs.
I do love that the team who has a Treant Protector only has 1 remaining out of tower compared to Nigma who have 6. They are all still up. They haven't claimed even the tier 1 tower on bottom lane, which is meant to try and stop Nigma from being able to contest that southern outpost.
That's largely credit to Nature's Prophet, right? Just constantly pushing out the lanes and taking the early towers himself.
He's #1 on the network board.
Yep. Mind Control knows how to play his Prophet.
That he does. And Weehan's coming now to defend the tower as well. And again, it's probably also for the outpost battle. 40 seconds. That's when the teams want to hold him. And right now, because Nigma can bring the numbers to the bottom lane and no one's up on top, like Storm would have to like ball lightning all the way across the map in order to get that outpost in time. And in fact, look at him TP. It's like, who's coming for this? Does anyone want to give it a shot?
Oh, if they get Bryle here, that's big.
Yeah.
They might. They just might.
Pan screen right. There you go. Bryle on the run, the wall. Oh, not in time. He's going to have to PKB.
They didn't land the shackle. If that shackle latches, he is dead on the spot.
Still able to just BKB and walk away. I don't want Miracle out. There we go. Bounty rune up. So all 4 bounty runes. Oh, even the double damage rune, mind control. And he's going to Orchid Bryle with a double damage. He'll actually hit pretty damn hard. Weeha's coming over too. The Shackle will land. This is the old school synergy. Sprout and Shackle. The Snake no, too far forward. He just loses life so quickly. Mind control just doing double damage battle through everything. It's not bad. It is a disaster.
It's very bad.
Nigma are gonna push straight up the mid now. Force the buyback. Storm and Legion both have it. But look at Mind Control. He's been such a hero to relieve some pressure. The Pandas gave them the breathing room. There's your first buyback. Fortifications buying some time. Weeha lining up. He's thinking about an extra shackle, looking for Eternal Envy. They can see it now. It's a good gust. And Miracle copying a lot of damage. There's another silence as well. And Storm Spirit jump up. The Yaws have up. Mind Control currently controlled thanks to the duel of Snaking, but he's just taking through so much. But Snaking is the one who's dying. Rumian finally able to get this ulti up, but now the Chain Frost too. Bounce away from it. We are so low on life. Mind Control does die, and the Pandas hold their tier 3 tower, so they keep their base up.
Yep, that's expensive though. It's 2 core buybacks, and one of them being the Storm. That is the usual trump card you have for defending your base once. Can buyback jump on top of them. Miracle with the perfectly timed duels, didn't take damage from Ball Lightning, or he could have been one-shot there. So I honestly think Nigma, all in all, with the buybacks they forced there, they got out with absolute minimal casualties, only losing that Nature's Prophet. So I think they should be pretty happy with that.
In fact, you can plateau the team net worth advantage. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, that could have gone a lot worse. At the same time, though, the reason this whole situation came to be was that they tried to help Bryle in mid. If they would have cut their losses on that Storm, Nigma don't go high ground, but then they gave them a bonus Legion Commander and then a bonus glimpse on the Jakiro, and all of a sudden...
Then Storm has to buy him back. It's like, please don't help me. Sometimes it's a good thing in Dota. Now Ember gets the Shiva's Guard up and running. More and more tanky. Miracle. Before we said, like, he felt like he was invincible. Is he now? Is he actually now reached that point where he really is properly invincible going into these fights?
He could still die in a duel. But outside of that, yeah. He can Yule Gust, he can Yule Overgrowth. Yes, Shiva is a lot of armor against the Drow. Yeah, he should be completely fine outside of that.
Wind Ranger's running forward. Once again, Moon Meander. The frontliner. Now you burn all that Mana Storm. It's mad to move a quarter of the map. It's forever being pressured back in again. But it does always feel like this is where the Pandas fight the best. Inside their base, back to the wall. They just need one good fight. The Aegis Immortal will now time out.
This game kind of has a different feel to it than the last one, though. It's like the time of the game that this has happened, the type of heroes that Nigma have playing from ahead, but the map control that they will arguably maintain almost forever if they split their heroes correctly.
But as long as the Drow Ranger is able to sit in the back lines, it feels like it can still be the same game.
All right, here we go. Will they get the duel?
Ice Path off target. Oh, they really needed that. Now the Searing Change counts out on 2. Press the attack, breaks Eternal Envy free. And the Treants are pushing bottom. So this needs to succeed straight away, or else they have to just TP back for defense. Exactly what's happening now.
And you see the item queued up for Weehaw. It's queuing up a Lincoln. So they know that the way they lose this game is to good duels. And getting a Lincoln on him, maybe even one on Ember to top it off. Initiations become very, very tricky for FP. All right, Mind Control going to secure the last tower of the game outside the base. He's jacked.
He is. He knows how to lift the staffed. You just think, like, repair work, prepare the defenses.
And they did make an aggressive smoke, but it didn't work. They got repelled, and then their ward their place got removed. So effectively, it didn't really accomplish anything at all. So this time, Nigma were much better about their positioning and not getting caught out, learning from prior mistakes on Weehaw here, having the backup of the team nearby.
They do at least have a nice observer ward watching for any kind of movement from Nigma when they prep Roshan wards. And that will have to be the next point of contest. Like, you just got a BKB over on the Legion Commander. This has to work for her jump in. In fact, even under the Dire Observer ward, that's where Weehaw's playing right now. Perfect Radiant scan from Nigma. Miracle is the man under the cover of Invis. 35-minute bounty runes, boys and girls. Snaking, well, he'll get it, but Miracle, right on his tail. Trying to keep, he's waiting for the rest of his team to then glimpse back, and nope. The BKB. This is your first use of a 10-second BKB. Is to escape a glimpse. It would have been his death, though.
Absolutely. He has to BKB that.
And there's an Aghanim Scepter now also on Disruptor, so life got even harder.
He doesn't have buyback either on Legion, so that is an absolute mandatory BKB usage, or that could have opened up the base.
Look at him move so fast towards the north. They're smoked up themselves. Nigma don't have the high ground, however. A little bit more difficult.
Oh, they saw 2 heroes. This could be a go call.
Oh, they don't have enough information. Now the smoke's going to break. Oh, hi, Envy! And bye, Envy. Can't BKB, can't get out that one. That's an Aghanim like storm. And look at Mind Control. 1 is not enough. 2 will do. Now they can push up. The mid lane is already pushed in with the creep wave, so they'll beat into the tier 3 tower.
MC's hitting this so hard with that AC Blightstone. Tower down. Buyback has to come out. They don't have it on Jakiro, though. But Storm should be able to play this.
Long jump in, goes after Mind Control. Moon Meander with its flow of his own, Shackle unable to latch. Sentry wards being planted and instantly dewarded. Not because they got an observe ward, just got their own sentry up there and they're up high. But you got what you wanted, right? Like, again, another buyback on another core. This is the core who didn't have to buy back before. So a Storm, Legion, Andro, who all have it on cooldown. And Roshan is still a good 2 minutes away. But you'll take out the Shrine. Make it impossible to bring reinforcements for Panda.
And they're going to get ready for the Roche. It's coming up relatively soon here. Early spawn. Actually, it's spawning in a second.
Nah, I can't believe how much this game has just swung, and still, like, no tier 1 tower was lost for Nigma. You'd look at this, you look at the kill advantage, you'd look at the gold advantage.
Oh,
If you just tuned in, you'd be like, Nigma controlled the entire game from here.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, with how the first 15 minutes went, or 10 minutes, I think that's what kind of should have happened. They just made a couple of overextension moves, and FP took some chances that paid off. And that's what you need to do when you're behind. You need to go for those 5-man smokes and hope that the enemy's out of position, and it worked. But now the grip is tightening. They have way more of a lead. And they're not splitting up anymore. I think it's just like a natural gut feeling that Dota players have most of the time. When you reach a certain point in the game, it's kind of just unanimously agreed that, okay, we're at the point where we can't split up very much anymore. So it shouldn't be happening too much any longer. You can see, even though it looks like they're split, there's still 4 heroes in the relative proximity of each other, and the last one is Nature's Prophet. So he will always be able to connect.
The rune of regeneration.
Envy's gonna have to do so much work for just the range damage, while Storm needs to stay alive on the front lines. Kind of wondering like how Envy wants to build this. We saw the Aghanim Scepter from him previously. He's already got a hell of a lot of items. Aghanim's normally better when you get a Maelstrom. Just because you get Tesla Ranger. Roshan currently being killed off as well. Just spawned up. And Mind Control's gonna do the solo now. We will come and help him. Still got a hell of a lot of damage from the clap, but it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And for the hero damage we're looking at is Ember Spirit. I'd love to see what MP's got. Because MC has really done so much work this game. 24.
Got a weird death animation. He just disappears.
Yeah.
It's like poof.
He doesn't spawn from anywhere too. Like, I feel like he crawl out of a crevice.
Yeah. Get on it, Valve.
Yeah, please. Animations for heroes. Why are they disappear out of nowhere? Should they be like ported down or something? Onto the battlefield as the gods have chosen them. Anyway, back to the game of Dota. Up comes the attack. Smoke up. They're looking for a target. Woo! Smoke's gonna break. A lot of spirits on the field. They want to try and battle around them as Envy does the range damage. He's not really hitting anybody with this, but he's trying to keep his distance from Miracle. It's a good sentry while they saw him. Another long spirit jump forward, directly at the wave, and the duel is down. Miracle protected for the moment, but now the Chain Frost. It won't bounce from anyone. Sword Spirit jumps in, Miracle is down, and a Vortex. Maybe they can catch Weehar as well. They want the racks, and maybe they'll lose more. The Overgrowth, they keep the Wind Ranger in position, but they're going to kill her a second time. Ember buying back. He's got TP towards the mid tower. It's going to be a while before he's up, but now the Ice Path poke from AUI, and they have the damage. Weehar can't run out. There's one for Bryle stuck inside the ultimate of Disruptor, means at least he can't push for a little bit more. Allowing the TPs out, but you bought back on the Ember. Weehar dying twice, one of it being the Aegis, and now with Scythe of Vice over on Storm Spirit.
And level 25. This game's not over yet, especially if Nigma aren't more disciplined than this when they push. If Ember does not have Aegis like this and he walks in that close, when you duel yourself against the Drow Silence, you set yourself up for an Ice Path, and their lineup is playing with 0 saves. That's a free duel right there. You just go in, Storm is eventually going to jump and do the damage. And then the collateral damage is way too severe. You lose the Wind Ranger and the Aegis on that?
Yep.
That's basically 3 cores and a buyback on the Ember. So it's kind of like 4 cores. They just killed for nothing.
I still don't know how they solved the answer of like, how do you close the distance on Eternal Envy? Like you've only got one hero that can really jump in, and that's the Emperor Spirit, and you can't go alone, so you try and pick off the front lines, but it was Legion who starts this off. You were already calling it, like, they're going to duel. They're going to catch.
If they don't feel, I mean, maybe they feel confident that they can end the lane of Rex there, but, you know, they could control the map if they wanted. They have Nature's Prophet, they have all 3 lanes pushed in, they have an Ember Spirit. Pushing lanes is not exactly very difficult for them in this game, and if they do want to do this with the front line Ember, buy some more defensive utility for him. Buy a Glimmer Cape, buy a Solar Crest, and put both of them on him so he doesn't die in this duel. Or maybe buy an Aeon Disc on the Ember if you really want to do this stuff. He's got a BKB.
Yep, BKB instead. There's also some Ninja Gear.
Yeah, he should survive. He'll survive the duel if he's BKB'd, because then Storm won't kill him.
I do love how it's just full combat profit. Like, and he's going to buy, what, the Aghanim Scepter for the Ember Spirit?
Yeah.
You probably want to consume that, however, because he won't have the item slots to sustain it. But a full Daedalus got completed on Prophet.
Yep. The damage is definitely there from Nigma in this game on the heroes. It's about whether they can set themselves up to hit stuff.
Moon. He's got a fresh Blink Dagger as well. Another Blink Dagger also arriving for his support. GH. Lynx is coming on the courier for the moment. And another Blink Dagger. Legion Commander, add him to the list. But back into the base, the Pandas go. And they start losing more and more control of this map. And the status quo resets.
The rune of haste.
Well, Pandas, do you just wait now? Like, do you come out? You got 3 sentry wards at least down
I mean,
to the south.
Statistically, Nigma are going to make a mistake again. So you could wait for it.
You mean it's their turn or what?
I mean, at the same time, this is a super experienced team. They should identify what the problem is and solve it, right? And the problem is we're going in too close with our Ember to hit racks. We can play the map. We can be in proximity of each other, and we can. I think if fighting Pandas, fight them out in the open. I don't think they're favored in the fight, fighting Pandas at all. Like the lead is still there.
Fresh jobs are coming out. The jump in, Miracle too far forward. The Hex is there for mind control. The Storm is out. The Chain Frost will have enough out, but it's a great gust. And Envy gonna try and get that damage in. Mumienda dropping quickly, but at least he got the ult. He got Bryle, needs to ball lightning himself away from this one. Allow Mumienda to die. And Glimpse, AUI is the one to be brought further back. So they'll take the 2 supports, Nigma. Only one of them has buyback available.
It cost them a cheese, but that time Kuro was in range with the Glimmer Cape and the detection was there. Imagine there's detection there. He's just going to get dueled and die again on Ember. That was... I mean, it's good they get 2 kills, but you can't really call that good of a play. That could have been a disaster. If there was any detection, that was a mistake. Once again, you've got to be careful.
But the funny thing is,
positioning.
Storm Spirit can just keep him out. He's just ball lightning out and ball lightning back in again. No creep wave should be able to enter this base unless they get an instant grab, which they don't have. They just have a glimpse, which he can potentially just BKB out. Yeah. There it is. His spirits. Oh no! Wait! I shouldn't have said anything.
That's a big one. He has to buy back. He might as well do it immediately. Or they can try to bait and hope Nigma get out of position again. BKB on Miracle ready in 5 seconds, at which point he shouldn't be able to die unless he gets dueled without popping it.
He just needs to keep split shotting.
I like not buying back here on Storm, by the way. I think it's good. Use the glyph. You might lose your range racks. But if you can somehow set up a fight where Storm can buy back and you get kills on the way out,
then it's worth it.
Then it's definitely worth it. But
well, Overgrowth still on cooldown for the moment. The silence is on snaking. Oh, someone going to remember to kill off that Rax. A quick gust over on Weeha. Ice Path, Weeha have run a bit further towards the north. Snaking. Now the duel is over on Mind Control. Disruptor. He's waiting in the wings. He's waiting for the big ultimate. Bryle has jumped in with the BKB. They at least kill off Nature's Prophet. Cleaning up the trees. Catching out Disruptor. GH needs to drop down this ultimate for Mumienda. Keeping themselves going. But Ember also right in the middle of this fight. They're so low on Nigma, but there's not enough heroes. They have to buy them back for the Pandas to continue the fight. It's Miracle. He's already inside the base.
Yeah, dueling Nature's Prophet is just a no-go. He has buyback, he'll be back immediately. The moment Legion duels that Furin, I feel like the fight is doomed, almost. You have to get somebody else than the Nature's Prophet when you know he has his buyback available. That is what Nigma want to happen. Interesting Orchid. Sometimes you just Orchid a melee creep for no reason.
Also interesting ball lightning. I think he's looking for, what, a rune?
Yeah, he got an Arcane, actually. So that wasn't purpose. He has a ward over there showing the rune. But Nigma are definitely closing in on a win here. Well, dueling Mind Control now would be great, but Duelier is dead for a minute.
No Overgrowth either. And they just keep cleaning through the racks. The Treants give the high ground vision, and Mind Control being protected by the Lincoln Sphere of Weeha. That's when he realizes I'm no longer the primary hero. 27k net worth to the 18k of his other cores. But at least they're having a little bit more time here, Panda. Yeah, you lose your tier 3 tower mid. The Rax isn't down just yet. They're looking for more. Weeha hoping for a good shackle. Eternal Envy is that one. Mind Control still on the front lines. Legion Commander, 30 seconds on the sideline. Weeha's back here to finish the job they started. The melee Rax needs to fall. Overgrowth still not up. Ice Pass up to Ice Pass. Nice jump in from Bryle. Searching for his target. It's going to be Nature's Prophet. Mind Control will be a huge kill, but then again, he just consumes all the life around him. Life is back up again. BKB protected him. It sounded like a cheese. I heard a nom. Definitely heard a nom nom.
Didn't they use a cheese on Ember before? Have they killed 2 Roshans with cheese? I think that was a Satanic. His health bar kind of reflects the kind of guy who would have a Satanic.
I'm going off sound, man, at this point.
Oh, I thought I heard it, but what do I know?
Normally a lot. No, I remember. Hang on. What's the thing? Cinder's never wrong. That's the phrase.
Good. I'm glad that is established.
Yeah, definitely Satanic.
Wait, did they just click him there? I didn't see it. Did they have 2 choices?
Sin, like
Toby will never know.
That's fine.
What if we'll never know if they have 2 choices?
That's called replays, and we have this we have the technology. Aghanim Scepter drop from Lich. There goes your AoE controller.
Yeah, Satanic on Nature's Prophet. Okay, got a bit too excited about that one, my bad. Well, 23k lead. You have options now for Nigma. You can wait for Roche. You could keep playing map control, get the 50-minute outposts, bounties, extend your lead to almost 30k.
It's time to smoke and fight.
You're not letting it happen. You know, I love this. Like, you can't just sit back and wait here.
Yep.
Like, get something done, you know? Try for a play. If you find Nature's Prophet, that would be a huge kill because now he doesn't have buyback.
He's on the wrong side of the map.
But yeah, they're not finding that guy. But they're looking at Roche because it can spawn right now.
It's actually the only observer ward that's outside the base. It's the only place they can have vision and fight this, but the mid lane's pushing in. No one's having a look anywhere. They have to TP home. Storm Spirit's doing his ball thing.
Yeah, I still like the attempt. I think.
Yeah,
if they
have to do something.
Maybe they could have waited another minute and a half because there's a way higher chance they encounter somebody for the outposts and the bounty runes. But at the same time, then you could have run into 5 heroes that were together, and then the game would end. And maybe they're hoping to find 1 or 2 that are a little bit spread from the pack.
God.
Oh, that's a good rune.
That is a very good rune. Spider leg up and look for a target. Broodmother is always with us. Is it the lore of Spider Legs? Or is it just like stolen? 2.6k?
3.2.
3.2?
On Disruptor.
He's got more than NP.
He has the Whitler Shaco. So.
Roshan's dying very quickly. Scans available from dire side, but they should know it by now. They're going to smoke up, but it's going to be way too late. Nigma have the bonus damage thanks to the DD. It's done.
It's the luck of the draw, right? I think FP's original smoke could have got them a Roche.
Oh, snaking! Whoa! He's jumping in. He'll trigger the BKB. Support is nearby. Look at Eversbury. He's like, I know there's more. There has to be more. AUI protected by the Glimmer Cape. He'll go up the hill. No one's inside the base. They're all out in the jungle. TPing over. Nature's Prophet smack bang in the middle. The Ice Path will be able to catch him out. They're all running around like headless chickens looking for a target. Looks like the first one's really going to be AUI. Perfect sprout block. Just keeping AUI. Guys, in the trees. Sure, all right.
Okay.
Didn't Sprout get the vision for that?
It was a good Sprout block. Else would he have gone? I don't know. Anyway, he got out. Yeah, so the original smoke from FP there, if they would have found somebody, or even if they found a Roche, right? Like if Roche was up, who knows, maybe they could have snuck it and got an advantage for the incoming fight, but they smoked out at a time Roche. He wasn't, and
he doesn't need the Observer Ward. You'll set it up and towards the air. He'll hit the deck inside the Storm of GH.
He's got buyback.
And he does have buyback. And there's a lot of spirits trying to make sure that no creep waves again enter the base.
The numbers are starting to be
dangerous.
Insurmountable. There's 4 bounties anytime Nigma want them right now. But they'd rather pressure this buyback out of the Legion Commander. They have Aegis Cheese, Refresher. I think, was it Refresher Axe that dropped?
Don't know. Didn't see.
I think it was Axe. Weeha has Axe. And Miracle bought one himself. So it was Axe this time. No Refresh. Kuro has an Axe too.
Yeah, he bought one.
He bought one though, yeah.
These are free, let them be.
Oh, get all the bounties. Nature's Prophet can just teleport around, you know?
Yeah.
Get money.
Is he actually 30? we're gonna get to that point, dude.
Come on, man.
He's 26.
It could at least take the bounties, Mike.
Every coin helps.
He's got support heroes to do that. Don't you understand? Mind control is the big deal.
Heroes like
Move
Weeha.
Meander over in the corner. Now mind control locked inside the Ice Path. The Spirit Force Miracle. Straight towards the front lines. Has a BKB for a little bit of protection. Not to mention the huge amount of damage the Mind Control can pump out. But you'll need to move up onto the high ground to get the hit. Mind Control, another great Ice Path, catching 2. Miracle forced up a little bit deeper. Move Meander still holding the ultimate. It's a good gust coming in as well. And Mind Control, so much damage onto him. But remember, he's got Satanic. One attack he'll hit. He needs to hit a couple more, however. Now the Ice Path can connect in. Mind Control becomes a really real target. Damage, they have the vision, the sentry ward's over in the tree lines, that's why this movement away. He'll have to trigger the BKB, TP out, Envy, he'll break the Aegis to the Immortal. Wants to hang around just to make sure a double Ice Path, the duel is out by control, no abilities to stay alive, he's brought down, 2 minutes on the silence, but the tier 4 towers are under huge siege because mid lane and top lane is already pushed in. Nigma will back up. Where's that discipline?
Do Nigma have 0 4 stops? And single force step there definitely saves that Nature's Prophet.
The answer is no.
I don't know. I feel like in this patch, 50 minutes and there's almost like never a game you don't have a force step. Think about it in this game. You can force step people that get Vortex by Storm. You can force step people that get silenced by Drow or that get Overgrowth by the Treant. Like there's no way he dies there if that's in their kit. I think maybe it's a bit too greedy for Kuro to go for an axe. Like it's a big item, but just sometimes the smaller and easier items are better.
It doesn't feel like he's even got a grab target. Like, and the only target he really needs to, like, what, he's going to get Legion Commander, who's going to BKB when she jumps in. You'll Scepter up. GH, man, what a catch. What a player. Ryle is just nailed down for 2 minutes. And Microtroll gives GH the tip, and rightly so. He may have just propelled them into the playoffs with this. Storm is such a huge factor against Nigma.
They have 1 minute too. The moment Nature's Prophet respawns, he's there.
Oh, buyback for Storm is up now.
Okay, they might not know this, so they might get overconfident.
Just got his buyback up. Dro will have hers in 3 seconds time, so everyone will be able to buy. And now the blink, the duel is out. How much damage have they got? They got a hell of a lot. Miracle! He just explodes and Brad's like, let's go for a little bit more. Pulling back in the Lich. You want a Chain Frost? You want to see us to gates? You want to die? 3 heroes down, but remember, defense duty is still a thing. They have to clean up the top lane, they have to clean up the mid lane.
A gift from the Tempest of Battle.
And this feels so hard for Nigma to end. It did cost a buyback on the Storm Spirit, however, to do that, D. What are you thinking, Sin, as you now go into Greek thought pose?
I mean, at least GH has 6.2k gold, so he can buy something nice.
We have. Oh,
got him.
One range creep to do the work. Now Storm jumps out. Remember, GH just wants to Yule Scepter. Put down the Storm, put down the wall, and here we go again. Move me in. He's screened the face, but Bra's going to drop. Dead for 2 minutes. We have the BKB will wear off. Snaking a moon. They just can't go anywhere. Shackledly fated together. Buybacks massively come out, but you know who doesn't have one? It's the Storm Spirit. More work. Another Shackle looking for his target. Microtroll will jump in and turn over looking for his damage here. AUI in the backlines. Miracle still protected by the BKB. Envy resetting up, spider-linking himself through his own agent. Microtroll is dueled up for the moment, but Envy, he's currently unable to attack. He will be able to fight back. The Shackles will continue. Meander, he's just holding them as long as he possibly can. A quick gust does not connect over on Miracle. Envy, get back in your base. Glimpse back home, and with the 5 heroes together, Nigma looking for the defense. Envy trying to hit hard. He'll have to play huge. He kills up GH. We are low on life. The Sprout won't control him, but the Ancient is going down. He needs more help. Legion has to get in there. The Sin is engaged. The two of them hold for the moment with the Searing Chain, and then the Chain Frost. That'll be the game. GG. My God, this series is cast. Plus 50 minutes. Keep it going until was it? It's currently 2:30 here in the morning. And this beautiful ski resort, which we can go and see the night lights.